for Walter Roll, briefly up to second, has had a puncture and lost 6 minutes. In fact, it's disaster time for poor Malcolm Wilson too. His Metro, limping along with two-wheel drive, has less than a mile to go. Both Metros out of a very unhappy Monte Carlo rally for the MG team. And look, Toivonen still leads, but in a severely deranged Lancia after hitting an oncoming motorist head-on. The motorist's okay, but the Lancia isn't. A new front hides a badly twisted chassis, and Henry's having major handling problems. But he's used to going off, and he'll take a lot of stopping and catching. This is the old master Hannu Mikkola's chance, though. Summoning all his experience and skill, he's using every one of the Audi's 500 horsepower in a determined effort to close the gap. While Bruno Savi, grasping the opportunity the Peugeot team boss Jean Todt has given him, isn't just hanging on in 7th place, he's gaining. But for Michel Mouton, the darling of the French and everyone else, is on her way out, sadly to drop from 8th to nowhere. The high Alps on Wednesday morning, stage 22, snow, icy roads and real drama. Henry Toivonen appears obviously driving very gingerly. And it's not just the surface. The Lancia's got a punctured Pirelli, and it's costing him 1.5 minutes of his hard-won lead. So, Timo Salonen, now second, scents victory and storms the Col des Garcinets, stabbing the throttle. His Michelin scrabbling for grip. And Mickey Biasion's keeping up the pressure too. A superb rally for the young Italian, now in 3rd place in spite of electrical problems with the Lancia. Into the Maritime Alps now, out of the snow, into the sunshine, and the Audis are clearly beaten. Mikkola 4th and Roll 6th. Kankanen's Peugeot 7th now, but short of fuel. But the Monte Carlo rally's far from over. In fact, it's very exciting, for there's now a new leader, and here he is, Timo Salonen, gently motoring to the Parc Fermé in Monaco, #1 on the car and in the rally. And tradition says the man who arrives at Monaco in the lead wins, so it's a happy Timo.
Today was very good, no any problems, and I took right tires, not like in beginning of rally. I make some mistakes and I lost a few minutes.
But you've speeded up and caught them back, Timo.
Yes, we are leading now, and I think so Lancia may make today mistake about tires and all change now.
All change indeed. Thursday morning, the medieval village of Saint Agnes, and Timo Salonen really going for it, desperately hoping for the dry roads that suit his Michelin tyres. But for Toivonen, and there he goes, and Mickey Biasion, wet roads would be better for their Pirellis, so anything could happen, and probably will. And in the twilight of his magnificent career, it's clear that Hannu Mikkola isn't going to add a Monte win to his achievements, this year anyway, any more than his teammate Walter Roll is going to make it 5 wins in 7 years. Juha Kankanen willing the Peugeot on, up to a fine 5th now, for Biasion is out. Peugeot's 1st, 5th and 6th, for Bruno Savi's on the leaderboard now. But with another swing of the pendulum, it's a weary Timo Salonen who slowly cruises into Toudon at the end of stage 29 in 2nd place. Unsuitable tyres and an inspired charge by Henry Toivonen have cost Timo the lead. But it hasn't been easy for Toivonen.
It's not easy to drive at all. We are coming like in gravel roads, you know, all right corners sideways. Left corners understeer. But it's hard driving.
But it's the same for everyone, Henry, isn't it?
I think everybody doesn't have a banana car.
Fanta ce n'hai qui dentro da mettere?
After the accident.
True enough, so what can you do about that?
Ce n'hai Fanta, sì.
Change the car.
So now, Thursday night, almost at the end, for it's the famous Turini Pass. 15 miles, 1,600 metres high, and it's not hard to see that it's an Italian car in the lead as Toivonen blasts past in the magnificent Lancia Delta. It's a Finn leading and it's a Finn second. Salonen in the Peugeot, third last year, second this. And it's a Finn third too. Hannu Mikkola with 3 different makes in the top 3 places. And Walter Roll, cruising by his standards, got nothing to be ashamed of. 4th in spite of losing 6 minutes. Then the other Peugeots with yet another Finn, Kekkonen, 5th in his first rally for the French firm. And Bruno Salvi limping along on 3 cylinders here in the Turini on his way to 6th. So, back to motorsport's most famous harbour at Monte Carlo for the 7 a.m. finish on Friday after an event to remember. This was Henri Toivonen's Monte Carlo rally. A quite brilliant drive to win the most prestigious event of them all, exactly 19 years after his father Pauli did the same thing. And to give notice to the veterans that there's a new contender for the World Championship.